Welcome to the Ninefold Way. The number 9 is a fascinating number. 9 denotes a pattern of process, a universal pattern of 9 doors through which manifestation forms. Wisdom cultivates healing, and awakening transform into completion, into wholeness. Here at the Ninefold Way, I will show you the many different facets the power of 9 displays in all the fields of life and consciousness on this planet. In this video, I will give you just a small glimpse into what's to come on this channel. This video highlights the top 5 ninefold systems used for manifestation, transformation, and awakening. Sri Yantra. If you study the Sri Yantra diagram, you'll see 9 interlocking triangles birthed by 27 line intersections, a cosmos nested in a point. Sri Yantra is not just decorative symbolism. It is a map of consciousness moving through time and form back to source. Classically, the Sri Yantra consists of 9 concentric chakras or enclosures moving from outermost to innermost. These are not bodily chakras. They are stages of reality and perception. Sri Yantra is reflected at Borobudur Temple, Central Java, Indonesia, designed as a stepped pyramid featuring 9 stacked terraces that represent the stages of enlightenment. Borobudur consists of 6 square terraces that resemble world-structured narrative, 3 circular terraces that resemble form dissolving, and 1 central stupa that resembles emptiness, bindu. Borobudur is the ninefold path carved in stone. As you walk through the 9 stacked terraces, you will experience different identities that are worked through, how stories of identity becomes exhausted, and how patterns of flow reveal themselves. The center stupa is left empty, not as absence, but as freedom. This is exactly the Sri Yantra logic. Outer complexity, inner refinement, and central point beyond form. Kalachakra. Kalachakra originated in India, where Buddha Shakyamuni traditionally taught the Tantra to King Suchandra of the kingdom of Shambhala around 2,500 years ago. This was then taken to Tibet, where it flourished, becoming central to Tibetan Buddhism. Kalachakra is a ninefold path for the same reason the Sri Yantra is, as they both encode how time, consciousness, and identity fragment and are then reversed back into unity. Kalachakra speaks of 9 levels or phases of time called Kala. Each of these 9 phases condense into a wind mind knot in the subtle body, becoming heavy karmic time. Liberation occurs by reversing these 9 phases, dissolving winds back towards source or the central channel. Once the winds consolidate back to source or the central channel, this is called the state of timeless awareness. The Jonang, a Tibetan Buddhist lineage located high in the mountainous Dzamthang region of Tibet. Jonang mainly focuses on the internal purification Kalachakra, called the sixfold Vajrayoga. This sixfold Vajrayoga is the engine of reversal inside a larger 9-stage cosmology. A 9-stage cosmology of descent and return. A return back to wholeness and liberation. Navaratri. Navaratri is a major annual Hindu festival, celebrating the divine feminine goddess Durga's victory over the demon Mahishasura, the triumph of good over evil. This festival lasts 9 nights. Over 9 nights, devotees worship Durga's Sakti that generates into 9 different forms called the Navadurga or 9 goddesses. These 9 goddesses do not appear all at once. She appears in 9 phases. It's like existence has fallen, beautifully, tragically, into density, and Navaratri appears, showing you how the 9 layers of conscious embodiment have become stuck and fixated. Navaratri then becomes a 9-step sadhana when it is understood as a graduated inner practice, a precise sequence by which Sakti enters, reorganizes, and liberates the body, mind through 9 phases. These 9 phases and 9 goddesses are: 1. Goddess Shailaputri. She works with the energies of stabilization. The practitioner is grounded into the body and time. Without this, higher practices fragment. 2. Goddess Brahmacharini. She works with the energies of containment, where the vital force is gathered, not discharged. Attention learns to stay. 3. Goddess Chandraghanta. She works with the energies of the courageous threshold, where the energies of fear, arousal, and change are allowed to vibrate without collapse. 4. Goddess Kushmanda. She works with the energies of creative expansion. This is where identity loosens and new possibilities gestate internally. 5. Goddess Skandamata. She works with the energies of heart integration, where care replaces compulsion and relational balance is restored. 6. Goddess Katyayani. She works with the energies of sovereign action, where desire aligns with truth, will becomes clean and full of faith. 7. Goddess Kalaratri. She works with ego dissolution, where protective structures fall away, raw presence remains. 8. Goddess Mahagauri. She works with the energies of purified radiance. The nervous system is allowed to rest with ease, softening and clarifying. 9. Goddess Siddhidatri. She works with the energies of completion, union, wholeness. No further effort is required. Time resolves into awareness. This sadhana practice moves prana from peripheral fixated loops into the central channel, the sushumna. This pillar of light, or the lingam of light, is then experienced, giving a sense of wholeness and liberation. Alchemy. Ancient alchemists believed that all metals were born from the same primordial substance within the earth and matured over time. Lead was seen as young, heavy, crude, unfinished. Gold was seen as fully ripened, harmonized, perfect. So the scientific question arose: if nature slowly perfects metals underground, can humans assist or hasten this process? This was early experimental science, trying to purify base metals into gold by a 9-step protocol. This 9-step alchemical sequence of purification is also used in the transformation of one's consciousness, one's beingness into liberation or enlightenment. These 9 alchemical purification stages start with 1. Calcination. This is the stage of burning false ideals, releasing the inner critic and grounding in sacred truth. 2. Dissolution. Dissolving the ego need of the pride of giving, devotion without dependency. 3. Separation. Separating true identity from performance. A type of ego death, as we release old identity, leaving what is radiant beingness. 4. Conjunction. Inner union of self-expression and divine creativity. Integrate our eternal essence into a new personality and a new creative body. 5. Fermentation. Activating wisdom through nurturing the heart. Compassionate wisdom arises. It's a fusion of our mind with the one mind. A non-dual heart space wisdom. 6. Distillation. Rising above fear into clear inner knowing. A faithful tenderness arises for the greater good. 7. Sublimation. Facing shadows by turning pain into luminous joy. Sublimates psychic forces of sentimentality and emotions, spreading our illumination to light up the world. 8. Coagulation. Soft power. A surrendering into divine purity. A new strength of personality that's open to intuition from a place of love that survives any onslaught. 9. Integration. Integration of soul wisdom into embodied wholeness. Now you are completely transformed. Completeness, which is a compassionate unity with an all-pervading peace. We recognize that the ninefold path is not about improvement, it is about release. Alchemy teaches us this one essential truth: transformation does not happen by wishing, but by staying present while what is false dissolves. The Enneagram. The word Enneagram, when broken down into 2 words starting with ennea, which is the Greek translation of the word 9, and the word gram or gramma, which means a figure of writing. So enneagram essentially means a 9 drawing or a figure of 9 points. This enneagram symbol has ancient roots that has appeared throughout various cultures. In today's modern world, there are 2 different main schools of thought on the enneagram, which are the Gurdjieff's enneagram, which is a law of process, and the Enneagram of Personality, which is a map of personality fixation. There are lots of informative videos about these 2 separate enneagrams. Here I will talk about a powerful tool that forms when we combine Gurdjieff's Enneagram and the Enneagram of Personality into one. For starters, Gurdjieff's Enneagram answers this very important question: how does transformation actually happen? And it shows us how energy flows. And the 9-point Enneagram of Fixation answers this significant question: where am I trapped? And shows where that flow collapsed into habit. When these two Enneagrams unify, a useful 9-step map of non-dual transformation appears. I'll call this the non-dual Enneagram of flow. From a non-dual perspective, the Enneagram describes how time generates self-sense. Each point reflects a particular experience of time. 1. Urgency gives a sense of inner pressure to improve. Constant correction develops precision. 2. Relational gives a sense of attention moving outward to meet others. Develops care. 3. Momentum gives a sense of doing acceleration to maintain image. Develops action. 4. Memory gives a sense of feeling loops into personal meaning. Develops feeling. 5. Distance gives a sense of observing from a distance, withdrawing. Develops knowing. 6. Anticipation gives a sense of scanning for certainty before action. Develops discernment. 7. Possibility gives a sense of escaping limits through possibility. Develops options. 8. Resistance gives a sense of asserting force against resistance. Develops power. 9. Inertia gives a sense of settling into comfort or disappearance. Develops rest. As you can see, time generates modes of awareness. These are pre-yogic, pre-reflective structures of time. No one chose them. No one designed them. They formed as life adapted. I will go into depth on how these 9 points of time organize themselves into our perception of linear time in future videos. The Enneagram simply names where awareness gets stuck in time. Each of the 9 points is a place where awareness once mistook function for identity, and where non-duality quietly restores function without ownership. For example, correction happens without an improver. Care happens without attachment to giving. Action happens without a doer. Feeling happens without becoming a story. Knowing happens without safe distance. Action happens without certainty. Enjoyment happens without escape into options. Power happens without resistance. Presence happens without disappearing into vagueness. In the non-dual Enneagram, powerful change and transcendence occur because of micro-recognitions. These are moments when the system expects a self and none appears. Recognition and awakening occur exactly where contraction and fixation used to live. We experience time not as an illusion. Time is very real. But our personal identification with time is an illusion. Drop the self and time simply flows through. The Ninefold Way seen in the non-dual Enneagram is experienced as 9 modes of engagement with time and meaning, then releases them. What remains is the clear light of flowing awareness, also known as liberation. Now you can see the similarities within the top 5 Ninefold Ways. Do you know you can overlay the Sri Yantra, Kalachakra, Navaratri, Alchemy and the Enneagram on top of each other, and they synchronize and support each other with ninefold harmony. The Ninefold Way is not a specific doctrine, but a pattern of process that is woven throughout different traditions. It's a rhythm you can feel, deepens, and completes. When you live inside that rhythm, physically, emotionally, mentally, healing or liberation isn't a project. It's the way you move. As each of the ninefold wheels of time unwind and completes its turn, you don't become special, you become available. Available to life, to love, to time moving freely through you. If you found this video useful and informative, please share, like and subscribe to the Ninefold Way. I look forward to reading your comments, and I'm happy to answer your questions below.